A cruise ship in the Caribbean? A young woman seen walking to a cabin and then gone. No splash, no witnesses, no trace. In the days that follow, she's reportedly spotted hundreds of miles away, always with the same mysterious man. For 20 years, the trail goes cold until a single photograph appears online and vanishes just as quickly. What happened to Claire Harrow?
April 6, 2002. The luxury cruise ship Aurora Star had left the coast of Belize the night before. The sky was clear, the sea calm. Among the passengers was the Harrow family: Michael, Diane, their 23-year-old daughter Claire, and 17-year-old son Luke. Claire was lively, confident, and an incredible swimmer. She'd spent the previous night at the ship's nightclub. Security footage shows her leaving at 1:12 a.m., smiling a teal tank top, heading toward her cabin. That was the last confirmed sighting. At 6:30 a.m., her father knocked on her cabin door. No answer. He tried again. Nothing. When staff unlocked the room, the bed was neatly made, her shoes still by the wall. Bag, ID, and phone on the desk. The balcony door closed. First thought, maybe she went for an early swim, but the pool deck was empty. By 9 a.m., crew began a full search. Every deck, every lounge, every hallway. Announcements over the PA, no sign of her. Security footage was pulled. They found her in the hallway, then nothing. No camera caught her entering another room, going on deck, or leaving her floor. It was like she'd walked into a blind spot that didn't exist. By mid-afternoon, whispers spread among passengers. A couple claimed they saw a woman matching Claire's description around sunrise on a lower deck balcony, 2 floors below her cabin. Another man swore she was seen near deck 5, a crew-only area, but there was no proof. At 3 p.m., the captain contacted the Coast Guard. The ship slowed. Search teams scanned the water. Hours passed. Nothing. And then a new rumor started. An older couple said they saw her, not on the ship, but in a port the ship had left 2 days earlier. She was stepping into a dark van with 2 men. No one could explain how that was possible. The Aurora Star had thousands of eyes scanning for Claire. Every passenger questioned. Every staff member interviewed. But the answers made things worse. The nightclub DJ remembered something. Claire had been talking to a man, tall, lean, with a snake tattoo wrapping around his left forearm. She seemed relaxed at first, then uncomfortable. The DJ looked away for a moment, and when he turned back, they were gone. Security checked passenger records. No one matching that description was listed. By day's end, the search extended into restricted crew areas, storage rooms, service corridors, engine maintenance decks, places passengers were never supposed to go. One storage closet was found unlocked. Inside, nothing but a damp towel and a half-empty bottle of rum. No fingerprints. At dinner, another passenger came forward. A woman in her 50s said she passed Claire near the ship's medical station around 5:30 a.m. She claimed Claire looked pale, like she'd been crying. But again, no security footage backed it up. Every angle that should have shown her was blank. Not corrupted, just empty. The Harrow family's hope shifted to the Coast Guard search. By now, helicopters swept the water, rescue boats crisscrossing the route. The captain calculated drift patterns, wind speed, current. Still nothing. Then, late that night, a steward found something on deck 7, tucked between a lifeboat and the railing. A single leather sandal. It matched the pair Claire had worn earlier in the cruise, but the other sandal was never found. Crew debated whether to turn the ship around, but the captain made a chilling announcement. Given the time elapsed, survival chances in open water are extremely low. The Harrows didn't believe she'd fallen. They believed she was still on the ship, somewhere no one was looking. 2 days after Claire vanished, the Aurora Star docked in Miami. The Harrow family stayed behind, hoping investigators would find something before disembarking. They didn't have to wait long for the first strange lead. A bartender from Curacao called the Miami police. He claimed he'd seen Claire, not weeks ago, but the very day she vanished, standing at the edge of a crowded marketplace. She wasn't alone. Beside her was a man with a snake tattoo on his forearm. They left in a dark green van with tinted windows. The problem? Curacao was 2 days behind the ship's timeline. If she'd been there, it meant she had left the Aurora Star long before anyone realized she was missing. Investigators combed through customs logs, port entry lists, ferry records. Nothing. No Claire Harrow. No unidentified young woman matching her description. It was as if she'd slipped through without paperwork, without notice. The Harrows hired a private investigator. Within a week, he uncovered something unsettling. The man with the tattoo had been seen before, in Barbados, in St. Lucia, even in Belize, each time near missing person reports involving young women. His name was never recorded. Witnesses described his accent differently every time. Weeks later, another tip came in. A woman vacationing in Venezuela swore she saw Claire sitting at an outdoor cafe. She looked thinner, paler, and she was wearing sunglasses at night. When the witness tried to approach, Claire allegedly whispered, "Please don't," before 2 men led her away. Police flagged the lead as unverified. But Michael Harrow didn't care. He believed Claire was alive, and if she was alive, someone was keeping her that way. By summer 2002, the Harrows had spent their life savings chasing leads. The private investigator, James Kellen, traveled across the Caribbean, following whispers of sightings. Every island told a different version of the same story. A young woman, pale, quiet, always escorted by 1 or 2 men. Sometimes she was at a bar, sometimes a dock, sometimes just watching from a distance. In Grenada, a fisherman claimed he'd ferried a young woman across a private cove at night. He remembered her trembling hands and the teal tank top she wore, the same color Claire had on in the ship footage. When asked why he didn't report it, he said, "They paid me. Told me she was sick, but her eyes, she was begging." In Barbados, Kellen found an abandoned guest house. Inside, a half-used tube of American toothpaste, a cigarette butt with lipstick, and a small folded note reading, "Wait until the lights go out." Forensics came back inconclusive, but the handwriting looked eerily similar to Claire's. By late 2003, leads grew colder, until Kellen met a dock worker in Trinidad who swore he'd seen the tattooed man, not just once, regularly, loading cargo onto yachts that never appeared on port records. When asked about the women who sometimes boarded, the dock worker simply shook his head. They never came back. The Harrows pressed local authorities, but jurisdiction was messy. Islands blamed each other. No single agency wanted to claim the case. Every request for CCTV or passenger manifests hit a dead end. And then, silence. For nearly a decade, no solid lead emerged. Until 2014. A friend of Lukey's sent him a link to a photo posted briefly on an obscure travel forum. It showed a dimly lit room. A woman sitting on the edge of a bed, staring at the camera. Her hair was shorter, her face thinner. But the resemblance to Claire was undeniable. Before Luke could download it, the post vanished. The forum account deleted, and the image was gone. Luke couldn't shake the image. Even without saving it, he remembered every detail. The faded wallpaper, the crooked blinds, the way the woman's hands gripped the mattress like she was bracing for something. Her eyes were fixed on the camera, unblinking. They didn't look scared. They looked resigned. The Harrows sent the description to their private investigator. Within a week, Kellen traced the forum's IP address to a cafe in Cartagena, Colombia. But when local police checked, the cafe owner said the computer used was stolen a year earlier. No usable fingerprints. No security footage. Still, a former FBI analyst agreed to help. Using Claire's old photos and Luke's memory, they created a composite sketch. The match probability, if it really was her, was 87%. But there was something else. The analyst noticed a faint shape in the background of the image. On the wall, behind the woman, was a shadow, shaped like a snake coiling upward, almost like a tattoo. Theories exploded. Some believed she'd been trafficked, moved from island to island, hidden in plain sight. Others thought she'd been forced into a life where escape was impossible. A few insisted she had chosen to disappear, hiding from something or someone else entirely. But the Harrows never accepted that last theory. They knew Claire would have come home, if she could. By 2016, the official investigation slowed to nothing. The cruise line stopped answering questions. The Coast Guard case file gathered dust. And yet, tips still arrived. A woman matching Claire's description in the Dominican Republic. Another in Panama. Always too late. Always gone by the time someone got there. Today, there's no official resolution. No confirmed sightings. No remains. Just a cabin on deck 9 of the Aurora Star. Shoes neatly placed by the wall. Bag and ID untouched on the desk. Balcony door closed. And a family still searching. If the photo was real, somewhere out there, Claire Harrow is still waiting for someone to open that door. Soft hum of ocean waves. Then, faintly, a camera shutter sound. A grainy black and white photo fades in. A busy street, somewhere tropical. Tourists, vendors, cars. In the far background, a cafe doorway. Zoom slowly. A woman in sunglasses is standing there, thin, pale. Her hand rests on the arm of a tall man, with a snake tattoo wrapping around his forearm. And just before the photo fades out, she turns her head slightly toward the camera. She's smiling,